So I'm here with Leon O'Rourke, one of the candidates for one of the four candidates for Director of Events and Services.
Too many of us, frankly. Too many of us. I'm thinking of killing a couple. Make it easier.
So do you just want to run us through your experience compared to the other candidates as well?
Well, obviously, they're all very good candidates. Actually sucks. I know them all personally. So I was planning, initially I was going to be like, I'm the only candidate that doesn't eat puppies. But clearly I can't be like that to them. They're really good guys. My experience personally, I've done a lot of union shows from my first year, all with different societies. So like I did, Project Zambia approached me a couple of years ago they did Take Me Out, the ITV show, the dating one. That was very fun because everyone else was really drunk and I was very sober. And I think I don't really drink when I'm on stage, so it was really good fun just to see everyone floundering around and people saying things they really shouldn't have said. I've been on St Andrews Got Talent every year since I got here. I won it for beatboxing, which I'll show you guys later. You'll all be ready. I was hosting Mr. St Andrews. I hosted Around the World of Dance, the Saint Live, things like that. So from a kind of being on stage perspective, I know what the acts are looking for. I'm kind of a tech advisor and head of entertainment for the Rule Bar. It's quite a big bar actually, 350 capacity. So I kind of deal with the day-to-day running of like the tech equipment. So I'm quite good techie wise. I'm not going to say I'm the best because I've seen Campbell.
Well, one of the criticisms I have seen is that you haven't been on the Ents crew. Do
you
think that could be?
The thing is,
normally it's a kind
for
of
me,
natural progression.
Yeah, we're not running for head events. We're running for head of events and services, which for me is a more administrative role. It's a kind of, I don't want to do voice of the people because I've got some cool voices I can do. I'm an impressionist as well. But no, it's more kind of, I want to be able to like talk to people and find out what they want to do. And from an Ents perspective, I do know the Ents. I mean, I've worked with them on so many productions within the Union, Barron Theatre, whatever. I've worked with them before, so I know how hard it is for them. To be honest, I'm amazed that they do it all voluntarily. I get a drinks budget sometimes when I'm doing a show, so that's I'm paid for really. But no, I respect what they do, and while I do have quite a technical background, I'm quite good with tech. I'm not going to pretend I'm anywhere near as good as them. Certainly not as good as good old Campbell, who I've known for quite a while. But as I say, this role is mostly the kind of the face of it in a sense, or the kind of the person that can get things done, be it budgeting, that kind of thing, which I have done at the Rule again. You don't need to be as technical. It's helpful, but it's not a necessary thing.
So what do you think about the current Director of Events and Services?
I love Dan. Yeah. I really do. I mean, I've worked quite closely with all of the directors of events and services since I've been here, mostly because I've been so involved with all the different like performances and stuff, because I'm a bit of an attention whore. It's my thing. But I love Dan, but just in the sense that because having no life other than in the union, I've had a chance to talk to. See, don't laugh at me. That was just a sensible comment. See, some people laugh at everything I say. But yeah, they've just had a chance to talk to people that work there, and they've got nothing but great things to say about Dan. Just because the thing is, what a lot of people don't realise is that between 5 and 6 p.m. there's kind of a changeover of staff, door staff, bar staff, and Dan is the only Director of Events Services that's ever stuck behind to talk to them, run them through what's going on in the evening, which I think is fantastic. And something I'd like to continue, because it adds just to a flow of a night. If you know something's going, if you know the event is catered for, ready for that evening, it's been planned throughout the day, I think everyone's happier. In terms of, he brings in a lot of variety, which I love. He allowed me to continue doing my comedy panel show, which if he hadn't, I'd have lynched him. But yeah, I'm really pleased. I think he's been fantastic. Yeah.
So moving on to your manifesto, the first thing on there is cheaper drink prices.
Yes.
Obviously that's going to be popular with students, but is it is it actually feasible in terms of budgeting?
I think it is, yes. I mean, as I say, I don't want to keep. I feel like I've said this so many, just because I've got nothing else to say. Is I work at the Rule, and we're a budget pub. Basically, like our drinks, we do the cocktails.
The Union's still cheaper.
Well, that's the thing. The Union is cheaper, and that's why I don't understand. That's when people say, "Is it going to be feasible?" I think we're still always. That's our aim: is to always be cheapest in town. Because we want to be that cheaper alternative. It's unfair of us to assume that people are going to want to spend lots of money in their student union, which is meant to be there for them to go out, have a good time, drink responsibly. No. But yeah, so I want to be able to maintain cheap drinks. It's something that I could work with Sandy, who obviously he's getting his own named pub. Good old Sandy. Me and him have worked together for years now, and I think that's something that two of us, it'd be good to talk with him about, find out what his thoughts are. But I'm small, but I'm feisty. I could take him down. He's about my height actually. And I'm younger, so I could jump around. It'd be fine.
So the next thing on there is increasing the range of events. Do you think that's going to be feasible given the fact that the redevelopment, you're going to lose venue 1 in semester 2 of next year?
That's true. That's something we're all obviously going to have to talk about at some point, especially the Doezes. We're all going to have to chat. We do have a lot of space opening up. Coffee shop, Sandy's bar, main bar, venue 2, obviously the Sky Bar, whatever we're planning to call it. And those are great spaces. We still have venue 1 for semester 1 and stuff. Venue 1, semester 2, losing that, obviously devastating. I'd love to try and, the thing is I'm not going to say I've got the answers for what we're going to do with venue 1 yet, because it'd be, I want to just kind of figure things out and take my time with it. But yeah, I've got little ideas here and there, but I don't really know 100%, especially on feasibility of them. In terms of the variety events, I want to keep it going because I think that, for one, we don't do karaoke, which is weird because karaoke is brilliantly cheesy. And we've done it at the Row, and I've hosted it at the Row, and we did it at DRA. That was I used to be one of the senior students at DRA. That was a resounding failure at DRA, never mind. So cut it now. But yeah, so it's something I want to do. I think that there's a lot of our student population that would be very keen for the less, the kind of less boisterous nights, the open mic nights, which are obviously Music is Love do quite a lot of, but I feel that because they've not been given the space, they're doing it in members' houses, which is great. And they do encourage non-members to come along, but it's going to be much easier for non-members to feel more comfortable going to an open venue rather than someone's house. Especially I've been doing open mics since I got here because my dad's a musician, so as I said, attention whore. I was basically when I was a kid, I was like, what can I do that people will look at me for? Because I was very small. I'm still small. It's sad. I know, I look 12. I had to grow a mane because I'm the Leon King. It's quite unsuccessfully.
It's a good slogan, I'll give you that.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. But yeah, so I think we do have the space for it. And it's kind of just pushing that a bit more and, maintain the events we've got. In my opinion, we should, because they are very good. Try and beef up the bop a little bit. It's quite a quiet one nowadays. Sinners is obviously ridiculously busy. But yeah, we can still achieve a variety, especially if people are coming up to me with ideas, which is something I want. Because, I've got ideas, but it isn't about everything I want. Because if I had my way, there'd be so much comedy. People would be there would be deaths, horrible, disgusting deaths of comedy related, but yeah, I'd like to change it a wee bit.
Well, one of the final point kind of relates to that as well. It's in your manifesto, which is working with other unions to bring other big acts as well.
Yeah.
Considering the fact that it's been a real problem for the president to make to actually get representation as a whole. Do you think it might be easier when working with other?
Yeah, I suppose so. That's something I hadn't even looked at. Well, okay, cut that as well. Leon is all-knowing. I could do my Mufasa voice. That's Simba, remember, Leon knows everything. Can use that just all the time. But no, I think for me, it's good. It's something that a lot of SABs have tried to do, is work with other unions. It's quite hard to do because we are the smallest. We're a very small one. But it's something for instance, I remember in my first year, however many years ago that was, before a lot of the old ladies in St Andrews started walking like that, we had Vernon Kay was the DJ. That was an interesting one. But he did a set in St Andrews and then shot off to Dundee. Now, while that's not the example of the big act I'm talking about, he's got some great shows on ITV. Good old Vernon. But I'm saying acts are going to be more inclined to, if they can get, say, 1.5 times their normal money in a night, for instance, doing a smaller show in St Andrews than a slightly bigger one in Dundee or Abertay. I think that would be great. Sure, people have got to be realistic. When you hear people saying, let's bring the big acts, we are not going to get Avicii or, to be honest, when I was one of the senior students at DRA, we did phone take that and asked them how much it was for a half hour. £1.5 million, which is like more than an eighth of our redevelopment money. Like, that's impossible. We couldn't do that. Yeah, so it's basically, it's finding people that we can physically afford, but we might be able to push a bit more if, for instance, we can offer them start the night at us, shoot off to Edinburgh, which is an hour away, shoot off to Dundee, half hour away, don't go to Glasgow because you'll die, that kind of thing. I know, I escaped in a horrible turn of events.
Well, I can tell that you're very good at talking.
Yes.
So thank you very much for the interview.
Oh,
You made
no
our
problem.
camera run out of time on
I apologise.
the SD card.
Yes, I've got a real problem for that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Thank you.